Hello, I'm going to talk to you about human-centered design today. So most companies are going towards creating solutions and products that are centered around the human experience. So that is why this phrase human-centered design. Effectively, your products and solutions are going to be used by a real human being, and he is needs to be the center of focus when you're doing product design, UX design, and anything that has to be a part of a product. So when you touch and feel products, that human element is really vital in how the product succeeds in the market. So I actually stay in Tipasandra, and recently I chanced upon the ID founder's interview, wherein he said that the famed ID idli and dosa batter, which is quite popular in India, typically had its origins in Tipasandra, which is where I stay as well. And typically they used to procure batter from the households of a few people and deliver it to customers. So it so happened that the consistency of the batter was not same throughout. So some days it used to be thick, some days it used to be a bit viscous, and some other days it would be of. So every time it was like a game of chance that they were not able to perfect the right batter that would give a uniform taste across the way your grannies made idli and dosa. So they did kind of a research. They went around places in Malleshwaram, Basangudi, Jayanagar, and a couple of other places in Bangalore where you get the best dosas and best idlis. So, and they could find out that based on the palate of the people, the dosas in different parts of the city taste kind of different, but they kind of arrived at a uniform normal that people would generally like. They perfected it by adding the right ingredients, soaking the flour for the right amount of time overnight, so that it comes with the right level of consistency and all that. So they did play around with a lot of these things, and finally they were able to get the ID formula perfected over a period of time by involving users as their co-creators, people who would taste their stuff and give them the feedback of how the dosas and idlis tasted in various parts of the city. So that's human-centered design for you. So if you are able to, co-create with humans and their experiences of your products and solutions, you're going to be creating a much richer, enhanced experience. And this is just the case of ID, idli and dosa. So there are many such cases of Warby Parker in the US, for instance. If you see Warby Parker, they make eyeglasses online, and their whole business was, you can order eyeglasses online. They'll ship a couple of samples to your house. You can try them and then choose one of them and return the other one. So that's how their business model was centered around. But it so happened that they soon ran out of inventory because there were a large number of orders. And to cater to this, what they ended up doing was, okay, now we cannot have everybody do the online thing. So let us give away the name of our physical place where we are located, and let people come over to our actual location, try out the glasses, and so that we can actually circumvent the problem of inventory. And they were initially very embarrassed that they were just running the whole business out of a flat. They didn't want their customers to discover how small their company was, and that was a cause of embarrassment for them. They were worried about, okay, what is going to be our image? So probably this is going to bring down our sales once people realize that we are just working out of a flat. And typically after a point of time, they just said, okay, we don't have inventory, so this is the only option left. We have to get people to try out our stuff from a flat. So they didn't care about it. They put out their address. People came over. They tried their glasses, and there was this doctor who came and tried his glasses, and he wrote about his experience. And large number of people started, piling by their Warby Parker's, one-room flat or apartment, whatever that was. And contrary to their expectations, their business soared like anything. In fact, their numbers tripled, quadrupled, and they had large number of sales because they were seen as a company who's transparent, who allowed people to try stuff before they bought stuff, and keeping human beings as the center of experience. And that's real human-centered experience for you. And there are many such instances of how companies have really played around with human beings as co-creators, used them and created awesome products and solutions. So if you take the example of Kellogg's in the US, so they perfected their recipe by trying out on inpatients in hospitals, and for some reason they'd excessively soaked the wheat flour a day before too much, and then that resulted in the crispiness of the flakes the next day morning. And this was an accidental discovery, but then they just vetted it out with the people who were trying their stuff, and they found out, okay, this is really awesome. And that ended up creating a great experience for them. And the other experience I myself did encounter on one of our family trips to Sri Lanka, where there was a tea tasting. We went to the tea estates as a part of the visit, and there were people who were tasting tea, the tea leaves in the tea gardens, and they were tea tasters. So they were paid to see if the tea was of the right level of taste after the leaves have been pruned, chopped, dried at an optimum temperature, and then powdered and made into fine tea dust. So after this, when it goes into a cup of hot water and the milk added, so does it give the same flavor? So there are paid tea testers who would actually do all this for you. So that's human-centered design for you. So you can actually have real human beings touch and play and feel with your product and then give you that feedback. So if you are able to get that done in your products and solutions, you can really create awesome products and solutions. So the other way that people do these days is to actually A/B test your product. So that's a part of a separate quick bite. We will talk about A/B testing. But the other way around is they get users on Craigslist, and they get they crowdsource users on Hacker Earth, platforms like Hacker Earth, which you can crowdsource your idea and get a lot of dummy users who play around with your stuff and give you rave comments on, okay, this is good, this works, this doesn't work. And because you might be in a separate league altogether, but your users are the real people. The market is the market, as they say. So no matter how great or bad your product, it is a market that decides whether it will be consumed the right way or not. So if you are able to do that quite well, then you have a great journey in your products and solutions. So here is leaving you with this quick tip, quick bite. Do like, share, and subscribe this video for more reach. Thank you very much.